Ladies and gentlemen, don't be afraid to give a warm welcome to the comedian of the night, Omar Marzouk! Thank you. Thank you so much. And welcome to the Scared Silly Show. The show is about fear. Fear has become a major problem in our society today. Fear controls a lot of things. It controls our thoughts and our decisions and our actions. And that's a problem because we humans can only act upon two basic emotions, either love or fear. And it's evidently increasing to me that a lot of us choose fear. We choose to be afraid. And when you write a show like this, it's very important that you get off to a good start. You have to have a strong opening joke. I have to get you, the audience, laughing as fast as possible. Because if it takes too long for you to laugh, then fear starts to enter the room. The fear of me not being funny. And the fear of that you have wasted 2 hours and good money. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, at this very moment, I'm facing my biggest fear, the silence of a comedy crowd. And not only do I have to deal with my own fears of not being funny, I have to deal with everybody else's fear of me not being funny. Like, you're a comedian. Yeah, I'm a comedian. Oh, Mr. Comedian, aren't you scared that you'll go on stage one night and they don't laugh? Have you ever thought about that? Yeah. The thought has passed through my mind. Oh, doesn't that scare you shitless? Yeah. I get that question every night. Just a few seconds before I go on stage. From my tour manager. Yeah, he's an asshole. I know it's not the best of business plans, getting money for laughs, but it's all I've got. And I just love it when people have to remind me of how fragile it is. I do fear the day when it all crumbles and the public humiliation peaks and I become front page news. Immigrant comedian goes bankrupt. Picture of me holding a sign that says, "We'll tell jokes for food." I'm not looking forward to the day where I quietly drown in a pool of my own failures while I desperately try to crack the last joke. Did you hear the one about the nun and the sailor that went into a bar? So I'm scared silly of not being funny. But fear is also a good thing. Fear is good. Fear motivates me to be funny. The fear of dying on stage makes me write jokes. Do you know how hard it is for a Muslim comic to die on stage? Every night when I go backstage, 72 virgins waiting for me. I don't want virgins. I don't. I live in Denmark, where the average age for a girl losing her virginity is 16. That's so wrong. But fear is actually a survival mechanism. It makes me write jokes so you laugh. Fear is a survival mechanism from the very early stages of humanity. Like millions of years ago when we all lived in Africa, fear kept us humans alive. You were walking the savannah, you saw a lion, you got scared and you ran away. And you didn't get eaten. Great mechanism. That also explains why there weren't too many white people back then. Yeah, you couldn't catch up. Lion, run! Peter, run, Peter! Peter, are you running, Peter, or are you walking? Peter, that lion, oh, forget it, Peter. Our fear of insects also has its roots from the beginning of time. because everything that could crawl was potentially dangerous. Insects can be just as lethal as wild animals, but yet nobody pins a mosquito's head to the wall as a trophy after a kill. Yeah, there's no prestige in killing insects. Actually, I think insects are more scary because you don't always see them coming. But you never hear anybody brag about their exotic insect kills. I got this one in Zimbabwe. The local call it the malaria king killer. Had to hide 3 days under a mosquito net to catch him. He always got me. But luckily, my slippers were fully loaded. A lot of people are scared of insects, especially spiders. Just mentioning spiders makes people freak out. Yeah. And that was a guy. Okay. My tour manager's girlfriend, she's really, really scared of spiders. She's so afraid of spiders that her boyfriend could actually kill her. Like literally give her a heart attack and all he had to do was like rent Spider-Man the movie. Her name is Meta. Meta's so afraid of spiders she actually had to get treatment for it, and she tried a lot of stuff. Nothing worked until she tried a hypnotherapist. Yeah, a hypnotherapist cured her fear of spiders. I would never go to a hypnotherapist because I have a phobia called fear of getting ripped off, or phobia. And I asked Meta how her hypnotherapist cured her. And what happened was she was asked to lay down and close her eyes and virtualize, imagine a spider. And then she had to clothe the spider in a cotton coat and yellow rubber boots. Yeah, that actually cured her fear of spiders. I tried the technique, didn't work for me. I'm afraid of snakes, and I couldn't make those rubber boots stay on the stake. They just keep slipping off. I don't know. And what do you do if you're afraid of flashers? That's usually what they're wearing. I don't know. But arachnophobia, it's the biggest phobia there is. And yet most spiders are not dangerous. They're like Muslims. It's actually only a very small percentage of us that will kill you. It's no. It's irrational to be scared of spiders and Muslims, but yet we are. And fear is often irrational. We all have irrational fears. I'll tell you about my irrational fear. I'm really afraid of deserted islands. Yeah, I'm really, really afraid of deserted islands. And it's because I'm dyslexic. And I fear ending up on a deserted island. And because the island is deserted, that means that I have to write the message in the bottle. And I'm going to write the damn message. That's not the problem. The problem is, I just know it's going to be one of these grammar Nazis who's going to find the message in the bottle. You know, the type that refuses to understand the meaning of a sentence if there's like a comma missing. It's going to be that guy. Oh, how exciting. Let's see what it says. Help me, I am stranded on island. Isn't it help me, comma? This is a foul handwriting. It must be written by a child. With no hands. And disabled feet. And now I'm going to die. Brought away on that island. That's a big fear for me. And if I'm on a boat trip and we pass by the deserted island, I do try to clothe the island in a cotton coat and yellow rubber boots. But those boots just keep slipping off. I'm making fun of the whole cotton coat and the yellow rubber boots thing, but I actually think it was an important lesson that Meta learned. I think it's important that you ridicule your fears. It's important that you ridicule whatever scares you. Make fun of whatever scares you. It's an important lesson. And we all learned this lesson. In the very early stages of our life, we've all learned this lesson. You've all tried to toss a baby up into the air. Have you tried that? Hear them laughing? For Arabs, it's a sport. Like, higher and higher. And you go, "Uncle, please, the ceiling, I just painted." And your uncle will say, "Okay, we go outside. Fatma, open the window. It's only 5 stories. He's laughing his ass off. Open the window." Do you know why the baby's laughing? Because the baby is terrified. If the baby could talk, the baby would say, "Would you put me down, please? This could kill me." But babies can't talk, so they have to laugh away their fears. And we somehow seem to forget this lesson as we grow older. And I think it's because as you grow older, your fear becomes much more social and emotional than physical. You're much more afraid of not fitting in than you are afraid of your uncle dropping you on the floor. And social fear is much stronger than physical fear. When I was a kid, when I was 10 years old, my biggest fear was that people would notice that I'm different. I don't look typical Danish. My parents are from Egypt. I'm the son of an Egyptian immigrant. I love Egyptians. I love Egypt. Egyptians are like the most arrogant Arabs you're ever going to meet. Yeah, because we built the pyramids 5,000 years ago. We haven't achieved much since, but we're still proud. And we have a great sense of humor about not achieving anything. My dad has a great sense of humor. My dad believes that every invention can be traced back to ancient Egypt. He does, and I often challenge him on this. I do. I was in Scotland, and I discovered that there was a Scottish guy who invented golf. And I thought I would call up my dad and say, "Dad, did you know it was a Scottish guy who invented golf?" And my dad said, "So what? We invented the hole." Where would they be without us? I said, "Yeah, but Dad, did you know that it was a Scottish guy who invented the telephone?" And he said, "So what? We invented the numbers." Hello, nobody to call. That is no fun. That's my dad. Yeah. Today I'm proud of my Egyptian roots, but it takes courage to be independent. You don't always have that courage when you're a kid. You don't have that courage to be who you are. Nobody wants to be a misfit. And when I was a kid, I was so afraid that the Danes would notice that I was different. So to overcome my fears, I had a period of 2 years where I insisted that everybody called me Casper. That was my strategy. I thought, if my name doesn't sound different, maybe they won't notice the black hair, the big nose, and the brown eyes. For 2 years, I introduced myself. I said, "Hi, my name is Casper Ahmed Mukhtar Abdel Fattah Marzouk." And they looked at me and said, "That's different and scary." We all just want to fit in. I have a son now He's a half-breed. He's half Danish, half Arabic. Everybody hates him. And I'm trying to teach him that it's okay to stand out. We had this incident in Denmark. We have this tradition called fastelavn. It's a combination of Halloween and the Mexican thing where you have a piñata and you hit it and sweet comes out. Yeah. We do celebrate Halloween here in Denmark. We've imported the tradition. It's a really stupid, I'm sorry if any of you are Americans, it's a stupid tradition. 2 kids come and knock on your door and go, trick or treat. Well, that's a stupid choice. I'll take the treat then and piss off. But the Danish tradition is, it's not a piñata, it's a barrel. And in the old days, they used to put a cat in there. The Danes don't do that anymore, which I think is a pity. No, because that was cool, because there's a hole in the barrel and the cat could look out of the barrel and you could mess with the cat mentally. The cat could look out and say, oh my God, it's Spider-Man, Batman, and Robin. I don't have a chance. So the kids dressed up and my kid wanted to fit in now. I wanted to teach him a lesson, so I dressed him up as a Taliban fighter. But he was cute, you know. He had the long Taliban beard and a Hello Kitty suicide belt. And we get to the kindergarten, and they do not have a sense of humor whatsoever. And we had to have this big meeting, and all the other parents were there, and I was like, would you guys relax and have a sense of humor? It's not dangerous, unless he pulls the string, of course. I just wanted to teach my son it's not that bad standing out. That's what happened to me when I became a teenager. I didn't want to fit in anymore. I was afraid of not standing out enough. I was afraid of not being different enough. I didn't know what I was. Danish, Arabic, I was just different. I didn't care what it was. I even tried on different nationalities just to see if any of them would fit. I've been all sorts of things. I had an Italian period, which was hello, señorita. And a Spanish period, which was also hello, señorita. I was a Greek at one point. Hello, señorita. Would you like some tzatziki? This is way back when they had money. It's not now. I didn't know what I was. It's the classical immigrant dilemma, you know. You don't know what you are, so you try on different stuff. I just knew that I was certainly not a Dane. And I thought, at this point in my life, I thought Danes were very uncool. And it was a specific kind of Dane that could really piss me off. It was this oversensible kind of Dane. I always stay on the safe side of the road. I follow the rules, so should you. You know, the kind of Dane that doesn't jaywalk, even though it's 2 o'clock at night, and there's not a car in sight for 1,000 kilometers. He stands and waits for the light to turn green. They could piss me off. Kind of Dane that says, there's no such thing as bad weather. Just appropriate clothing. You go, what do you mean? It's freezing. It's 10 below zero. It's snowing and it's April. I haven't seen the sun for months now. My teeth are cold. Teeth are not supposed to get cold, but my teeth are cold. I've actually thought about buying a mitten for my teeth. Don't tell me there's no such thing as bad weather. And then in it all changed again. My fears changed again. Because in my early 20s, I started traveling a lot.